Here we are. Welcome back to another episode of Green's House. I am your host, Jericho Green. You know how we do. I sit down with amazing people who have an interesting story to tell. I've talked to actors, I've talked to businessmen and women, I've talked to some law enforcement personnel, I've talked to somebody who's been attacked by a mountain lion. I've talked to someone who trains Belgian Malinois for special forces and law enforcement. Shout out to my boy Phil. But this one is for me. I do have an audience. I do have an obligation to give the people what they want, to continue to give them what keeps bringing them here. But this one's for your boy. And if you listen to my live streams, you know I can go off on a tangent, so to speak, about hip hop, the new stuff, the old stuff. I try not to be get off my lawn, when it comes to new music, because I know some music is for young ears. But I'm a fan of rap, good rap, and I'm a fan of battle rappers. So this time, again, this is for me, and I know you guys will enjoy it. He's a very talented young man hailing from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I know I said I have a battle rapper here, but that's not all that he does. That's not all he does. He wears many hats: battle rapper, singer, yoga, men's groups. Let him tell you. Let's welcome my man, Aaron Sawyer. Welcome.
Salute to
Please calm down. Let the man
It's
talk.
an honor to be in the Green's house, man. It feels like the Green's room right now, bro.
Yeah, but no weird stuff on the couch in this green room.
Yeah, definitely sanitized green room.
Please keep the weird stuff at home. Hey, thank you, man, for being here. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here, man. It's cool that you have a good heart first and foremost. You really give people space to tell their stories, and you ask very interesting questions. So the pleasure is mine, man.
Thank you, man. I learned I have a background in radio, and what I've learned is to let people do what they're here for. I can't stand when people talk over people. I ask the questions, and I let you do what you do. So without further ado, let's get started. Mr. Aaron Sawyer. And before I get into the first question, I had a question a little lower on or further down the list, but I'll ask it now. Why not have a rap name? Why stick with your government name, as they say?
It's an interest. My first rap name, quote unquote, was Flow, right? And so I drive to Oklahoma City for this judged open mic. I'm like 19 years old, and there was a artist named Original Flow, and I'm like, okay, well, he was obviously the original Flow here, and he's a dope artist. Like, forever shout out. I got all fours across the board out of 10 at that open mic, right? And so it's just a day of reckoning where I'm like, man, I ain't gonna hide behind shit, dude. And honestly, like genuinely speaking, I didn't want to create an alternate persona that I get attached to. I believe that can sort of fracture the psyche, if you will. Like I said, we're talking about men's health, mental health, healing, stuff like that. I'm like, dude, I just can't live that life where like everybody knows me as fucking French vanilla, and then before I know it, I'm like, I'm French vanilla. And this is like you create what they call an egregore, a thought form that people send a lot of energy to, and you kind of forget yourself. So it was just my testament to me, like, hey, I'm not gonna hide behind nothing. I'm gonna just keep it right here.
That's awesome, man, and very deep, and a very good explanation for that. And your original name was Flo, that tells me that you had a supreme confidence in what you do, because to name yourself Flo in the battle rap arena, well, then you best be able to flow. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's great to have that confidence out of the gate. And I've had those experiences as well. It's a little humbling, but that's good. A nice big bowl of humble pie is good sometimes. But
Absolutely.
let's go from here. When and where did you grow up?
Okay, so I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was born April 22nd, 1998. So I'm 25 years old. I was born in the ambulance of St. John's Hospital in the parking lot. So just kind of was stoked to get here at about 7 a.m. early riser type of vibe. grew up in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is like a suburb of Tulsa. And so it's really kind of like, they say the Buddha was a tourist because he like was stubborn enough to sit under a tree until he like got enlightened or got some downloads. Like it was really kind of like that Buddha story where like I lived this fucking Caucasian privileged life up until the age of 18, where I took some LSD with my sister and had a spiritual awakening, right? Then I started seeing, I saw the light and the potential to be these limitless human beings. Then I saw everything that wasn't the light. I saw the systematic oppression of of all people very clearly from that point. So it was like that fall from innocence, and so I had to really I spent the ever since that spiritual awakening, it's just been like how you do in your position, asking people questions, like coming from a point of view of like, holy shit, like this is there's some stuff going on this planet that's like not all good. And I see a lot of people that look like me, a lot of people in my communities bury their head in the sand because they don't want to address the pain of what we call the collective unconscious. They don't want to look at a black mama's pain and what she had to go through. They don't want to look at the north side of Tulsa and address the inconsistencies in resources. They don't want to look at how people burned down Black Wall Street in the 20s because of their financial lucrative businesses, and so it's like I've seen a lot of that, and I feel like that's sort of as tough as it is and as against the grain you have to go. That's sort of what I represent. Is like, hey, I'm first off, I pissed off a ton of gatekeepers around Tulsa because I went viral. I didn't need a cosign, right? Like I went straight to the Chris Brown cosign, So and I'm using my platform to talk about men's health, to talk about, hey, let's build some high tech metaphysics schools in North Tulsa and Greenwood and work with these quote unquote disadvantaged communities. Let's work with the 100 black men of Tulsa to rebuild these communities that represent something so like let's true power, bro. True power being like, let's grow our own food. Let's really. And so it's interesting that sort of that white privilege life to, oh fuck, like, am I on the what and I really I'm grateful because I wouldn't want it any other way, bro. I think that in order to truly understand somebody or to truly empathize, you have to experience some shit for yourself, and you have to truly put yourself in their shoes. And it's created a lot of not only empathy but systems in my mind of like, oh, when I get the bag, when I get the viral battle rap bag, when I get the music bag, I know exactly where it's going. I ain't buying no
Mhm.
gold chain, bro. We buying soil. you know? So
Yeah.
that's a long explanation for a simple question, but figured I'd give him that background.
No, that's great, man. And it's good to hear somebody say that with their money. And you don't have to. You could go buy the chains and the cars and all that stuff, but to hear somebody say they're going to reinvest, so to speak, that's great. And that's the growing the food and stuff like that. There was a time where people might have seen that as a little far fetched, a little out of bounds, but that's becoming more and more necessary every day. So that's good to hear. What kind of student were you?
Dude, that's a great question. I was always the dude that was like, I was always talkative and not in a bad way, but I was always asking questions, and like kind of leading the class toward a specific type of discussion. Like anybody that went to anybody that saw me at Oklahoma State in college, bro, like I'm hand up, like so. Da-na-na-na. Also, kind of like class clown type, like using that as a way for me to exercise my platform that I wasn't
Mhm.
given outright. Like kind of riff on some material. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, oh man, this one totally landed in the room.
Yeah, I can say that I was that talkative kid, class clown for sure, but not a bad kid, not, you know, a kid that was mean or anything like that. But yeah, you when you have that in you, you have a captive audience, so it's hard to keep that down. It's hard to keep who you are from bubbling to the surface, you know. And if you had, I had a couple cool teachers who would let me, you know, it was on a Friday or something like that. We had some time. It's not like I would get up there and do a you know, a stand up set or anything like that, but I was just kind of allowed to be me, which was very cool.
Yeah, given a
Um,
little more leeway, and honestly, it's that aspect of, like, once you get that feeling of, oh shit, I just made a whole group of people laugh, and your heart's kind of racing. You're like, man, I like this feeling. I want to see if I could do it again.
yeah.
And there's probably some deep psychological, need for attention because of a lack of
Hmm.
attention from your mother or father. Like, kind of puts that on the
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
But the laughter, though.
Dude, I'm telling you, and it's power. I remember a few instances in high school. A friend of mine and I had we would do the announcements over the PA system, and it was a sense of power. People were listening. I could hear the secretaries laughing when I would say something or something like that. It's intoxicating in a good way, I think, and it can also get you in a little trouble. I remember one of our student counselors coming in, and he had a particular outfit on, and it was almost like if I put my hands over my mouth, I couldn't stop the words from coming out. I had to let this joke go in the face of detention or whatever. But I had to drop this one. It was too good, and it landed great. Kids laughed, and I definitely got a detention. But I see myself looking at my kids, trying to find what their passion is early, because I didn't really get into my passion until I was like 23. So if
Mm.
I could have had that nurtured a little bit when I was a teenager, I would be, you know, in a different, maybe more advanced spot when I did hit that 23-year-old mark. But yeah, man, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I relate to that very much. I think we were similar in that way in school. Um, when were you bitten, so to speak? When was your Peter Parker moment with that radioactive battle rap spider? When did you like this is what I want to do?
Like, I came into the game as a slam poet, so it really started with those slam poetry competitions, and like, it was the first time I was ever putting my feet to the fire and allowing a piece of work to be critiqued, my
Mm,
art to be objectively critiqued, which I learned later on is a lot of times not objective at all. But like, and even fighting through that, like, so the bug bit me. I was about 17. I saw this poetry slam, and people that I'm still really good friends with. I'm on the Living Arts Tulsa Poetry Committee, like 3 or 4 years running now, and like, some of these OG poets were just spitting, like, channeling the spirit of God, bro, and the way that they were using their linguistics and their crowd control and stage presence was so impressive and so inspiring. I was like, I want to be like that, and in that time, that's the, again, pre-spiritual awakening. I was sort of like a party kid. I was like in student council. I was the publicity guy. Like, I was like the jokester, the party kid jokester, and
mhm.
I didn't really have a sense of self. I read a lot of psychology, but I didn't really understand the depths of who I was. And poetry and the written word, pen and paper, really sparked that self inquisition, that inquiry of self, of like, oh man, like, you can't just, I know I can't just write about getting my dick sucked. Like, I think there should be a global petition where, like, hey, you get, you know, 4 blowjob bars per year.
And that's it.
She suck on my dick, I fuck on your bitch. Okay, you get that one time every year. Get it out of your fucking system and say something meaningful, bro. For the love of God, please quit destroying our culture and communities, bro. Fuck,
If
dude.
only. If
You
only,
know.
man. If only. Do you remember you mentioned your first battle? Do you remember any bars from your first battle?
Okay, so first real battle I think was Poets versus Rappers 2017. I battled Cody Ransom. Shout out to Cody Ransom, amazing poet from Tulsa. And I was like, at that time it was more aggressive, completely untamed, very
Mhm.
high pitched voice. I'm 19 years old, and so I'm like, um, when I take a slash with a machete while I'm wearing a Jason mask, and I was like, yeah, you know, and then he, and what I had to learn, and was not learned overnight, especially in the poetry world. It was like I approached poetry slam battles like a battle rapper, and I approached in the beginning battle rap like a slam poet. Like, did not know how
Mhm.
to set up a punchline, right? And in the poetry battles, I was like very aggressive because I was pissed off. Like I was saying, I was finding out the perils of the toxic system that we live in, right? And I was decoding it, and I was like, this is fucked up. They're trying to kill us. And then people were like, yo, we don't fuck with that. Like, we fuck with that, but like, why are you so, and shout out to the OG Written Quincy. I remember being 21 years old in the Juice Makers Lounge. I'd pull up with my flip flops on and a gallon jug of water and a roomy poetry book in the fucking club, write in my notebook, like writing bars to the beats, just practicing. Cause I'm there to rap. I'm not there to like get pussy, or I'm there to like perform. And I'm showing up at 9 a.m. Like I'm the last person to perform, just because I'm kind of getting like a low key G check, just making sure the white boy's cool, make sure you're not.
Mhm.
And I remember one of the OGs written questions was like, bro, we have enough angry white boys. You're gonna have to do something else. Like we know the system is fucked up. And he said something very important too. He's like, don't flaunt your knowledge of our oppression and make it seem like you're high and mighty. Because go study up on Fred Hampton. We getting fucked up, and it ain't no you. You deserve no praise for finding out how fucked up we're getting. Basically, is what he was saying.
Mhm.
And so I'm just grateful that God put a person like that in my life at 21 years old, to where, oh yeah, dude, why would I flaunt anything I learn about like, why would I flaunt my knowledge, right? Where don't
Mhm.
use that as a way to feel like I have a level of superiority, right? Now
Mhm.
I'm the dude because I'm the guy now after that shit got 10 million views. I've been spitting, but I'm like the guy now. And now I'm the guy who can say, hey, like, to the white boys, like, dude, if you're degrading black women in hip hop, you're not fucking hip hop at all. It's the complete opposite of the whole revolution that you're supposed to be representing. And so I'm grateful that I had great teachers and mentors who's like, study up on Fred Hampton, bro. Like, do your research and don't flaunt your shit. So I don't
Mhm.
remember what the question was, but I feel like that needed to be
No,
said.
that's
So much out there that's just like, man, dude, fuck your car, dog. Like, what about
you
you? I
know,
want to know about you.
and that's the difference I think between hip hop and rap. Rap is
Mm-hmm.
very easy. Rap, we can all, I went to the store, I'm gonna get some more, one, two, three, four. Anybody can do that. I think that's rap. I think rap
Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
the mainstream. And as a fan of hip hop, this is just the view I have on it. There's a place for mainstream, but you're not going to be lyrically blown away. You're probably not going to learn anything of substance from mainstream rap. So I think hip hop, also the culture of it and everything, but hip hop to me means something else. It means a higher echelon of rap. It means, like we were talking before, like something that makes you rewind it, something that makes you stop and think, something that makes you watch it over and over again. You know what I mean? Something that really affects you. So did you see yourself, because being uh, as wise as you are for such a young age, and you mentioned 19 years old, 21 years old, did you always kind of see yourself as different from everybody else? Not that maybe
Bro.
better, but more mature or something like that?
Yeah, like I just knew that. I mean, I was think about it, bro. I was in a fraternity house at the first week of college. I pledged to this fraternity, and I'm the party kid. I'm the binge drinking stereotypical frat boy. Tab on tongue, geometric patterns. Find out about my numerology, and I'm like, oh fuck. I come back to the frat house. I go, guys, I just found my soul. And they're like, yo, Aaron's changed. And
Yeah.
so that, and that later ended up being the reason why I have such an intense performance energy, because ever since that moment, even before then, I felt kind of like I had a hard time fitting in the group. I was always kind of the black sheep, but I was respected. People knew I was, but I was just wasn't able to fit in a group for some reason. And later you learn you start seeing you ain't meant to fit in the group,
Mm-hmm.
right? But a big part of that was I realized, okay, I'm in college. The daily habits that I establish in this time, in from 18 to 22, are going to be set a very strong precedent for the man that I become when I'm older. I'm sitting in my car outside of McDonald's, fucking smoking weed, listening to Tony Robbins' personal development because I feel guilty about smoking weed, and I'm like, man, I gotta fucking level up, and like it was one of those where they were going to the party, right? Every Friday, I was staying in the house, either tripping and doing breath work and yoga or riding bars. I did not want to be associated with what they were doing anymore, and so I've experienced that aspect multiple times, that karma of being exiled from the group. But look at where because I knew, okay, it took 7 years, but I knew I was writing it down at age 18, 19. At age 19, I'm writing a letter to my future son, talking about I'm so grateful
Wow.
that I went through everything that I went through so that I could meet you, and it's like once I understood kind of the metaphysics of the subconscious mind and programming yourself and aiming high and setting high value, establishing high like ambitious goals, because there's no limits to what you can do as a human. I really would say that I grew my way into that, and so now I'm someone who gets to channel directly from spirit, tap into my own emotions fluently, while the people that made fun of me and went to the party are at their job. I'm still 9 to 5 in it, and respect to everybody that has to go do that daily grind, but they weren't they weren't introspective. They were not as
Mm-hmm.
introspective as I was. Surely not trying to heal the collective unconscious of humanity, and also dogging the very thing that they compliment me for now. Hey man, I always
Mm-hmm.
knew you could do it. Really? Because you told me I couldn't seven
Yeah,
years ago.
that's not what you said to my
Interesting.
face, you asshole.
I remember everything.
Yeah, the memory of an elephant. So writing down stuff, that's powerful, man. I remember having notebooks, writing down thoughts and stuff like that. And one of the downsides of social media is somebody might come across one of your clips and think that's easy, but they didn't see those 7 years. They didn't see the abstaining from the parties, pouring into yourself, writing things down, writing that letter to your future son. So it takes hard work, and hard work, but you don't. It's almost like you don't even realize you're doing hard work because it's something you're passionate about, something that you love, and you put in the hours, almost not realizing it. But it takes that to get to a level where somebody can see your finished product and be blown away and reach out to you, on Instagram like I did, and sit down and speak with you. That takes time. That takes work, man.
And
So
a key word you said was abstaining. And two things before, because I don't want the interview to go on and forget to say this. First off, I believe, I know you very little, but I can vouch for the Green family, and I can say the Green children are in good hands. You probably asked them a lot of questions, and are very curious about what they
yeah.
enjoy. And also the spirit of hip hop. One of the best things it's done for me so far, especially in person, is there's a resonance of truth. And if you're not vibrating at the resonance of truth, if you're not speaking truth, it is abundantly clear. So I was 20, 21, 22 years old, saying things that I thought were true, but I would find whenever I'm in the hip hop community, nah, there's some you're the little bitch in you is squirming, and there
Mm-hmm.
is more growth as a man to be done. So that's something that I loved. But yes, the word, dude, abstaining, like you don't
Mm-hmm.
realize after a while, you don't even realize you're sacrificing the parties. You don't even realize because you're so dialed in. I called it the pocket. Once I found the pocket, about 22 years old, um, going into 2021, I wrote 150 songs that have never
Wow.
come out, right? But I was writing. I was so deep in the pocket, that flow state. I could drop any one of those songs right now, and it would sound amazing because once you put those 10, I remember being 18, hearing about the 10,000 hours rule,
Yep.
calculated how many hours I've been freestyling or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. Like all you just got to do is just keep going 10,000 hours, and it wasn't. I'm going on a family ski trip next week. This is the first family ski trip I've been on in 5 years
Wow.
because they've all gone, but I've been performing, I've been writing, and it makes me, I feel it in my heart when I talk about it. I'm like, man, like I remember talking to one of the OGs. I'm like, bro, I have nothing but this path. I've committed my life to this path. This before I found my fiance, who's my fucking soulmate. Thank God she came into my life because I'd have got fallen into some sort of temptation without her, right? I wouldn't have strived to be as good of a man as I am now. But I was like, fuck, this is my whole life now. And the homie was like, bro, think about it. It's your path. Like, it's time to make it yours. And I'm like, oh, okay, there's something there. Like, it doesn't have to be a despair driven point of view, like, oh, this is my path. It's like, yes, like, it is your path. You put the work in to establish yourself as an artist. People see you as an artist. I went from just being Aaron Sawyer, the guy, to now they know what I represent, my brand or
Mhm.
whatever, and it's my path now. And then I'm still decorating it every day, bro. As
That's
you are.
great, man. And having having uh, somebody, there's a old TV show, Martin, and he's talking to a friend of his who gets engaged, and he says, "Doesn't it feel good to have somebody that has you, to have
Mm.
somebody that has your back, somebody we go back to back, it's us against the world. With I firmly believe with your woman's support, you can do anything, and gladly you would move heaven and earth to do anything for her. But if you have a dream and a goal, and she supports you and she backs you, babe, you can do it. Let's do this. There's nothing that can stop you. There's
Dude, nothing is more powerful than that. And you know what else compounds on top of that? A woman's intuition. She can spot a snake from a mile away. It don't
Yep.
matter if he's been your dude for 10 years. She can pick up on who's going to cross my husband, who's good to work with, who's not fit to work with. She's a really good judge of character. And I ask God for a woman who I could completely trust her intuition. And she ain't steered me wrong yet. I remember I proposed last September 14th. The wedding's next September 14th, and I remember being in the shower. She didn't know I was going to propose that day, but I like fucking just broke down in tears. Like, holy shit, dude! I found a woman that I love enough to ask to marry me. I
Mm-hmm.
never thought that this was possible. And you know what I did? Talk about the power of the written word. A year before, 2 years before actually, I wrote down the qualities of the woman that I wanted to manifest. And here's another important part. I wrote down the non-negotiable red flags where if I
Oh
saw this, I
man.
would I would immediately dip, you know? And I look at Mariah and I look at or Rebellious Essence, right? She's an artist too. I look at her and I look at those qualities that I wrote down, bro, word for word, and word for word, literally. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad God made me as a scribe in this incarnation because it's made things a lot smoother than it could have been if I'd have just kept it all up here, bro. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations
you, brother.
on her saying yes and on the upcoming nuptials, man. That's great. It's going to be a wonderful day, man. My wedding day was one of the greatest days of my life, man. And I'd live it over and over again. When you got a good woman, I mean, we've all had this thought where, no matter what the situation is, but you've had a thought where this can't fail. And someone might ask you, well, how do you know? You just know. And that's just the
Just know,
way
bro.
that it's going to be. There's no other, like evidence said from Dilated Peoples. I have no plan B because my A wins. There's no other option. This will work, period. That's it. Now, as I mentioned, this interview is for me. So let me get something off my chest that bothers me. And
Let's do it.
let me know what you think of it. I call it the white rapper double standard. So if you're in a if you're in a battle, battles are vicious. They can be extremely vicious. I've heard people say things about another guy's dead parents. People have brought the other rappers' kids into it. Like it's no holds barred, man. It can get rough out there. What I don't like is the fact that if somebody's white who's rapping, there are things for you that's off limits, and there are nothing's off limits for, let's say you're rapping against a black guy. I don't like that they can say white trash, sister fucker, all these things, but to a certain extent, you got to hold your tongue. I think, and I've heard rapping, there's a guy named Cadillac Ron, RIP. This dude was nuts. He dropped the N-bomb in a battle and everything. This dude, he was truly unfiltered. And I respect that. I think if they're able to say whatever they want about you, you should be able to, like, man, there's that movie Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. And there's a clip in that movie where all the white, black, Asian, and Italian, each person, it's a clip, and he's a white cop, and he goes, "You Puerto Rican, mita, mita," and then it switches to the black guy, and he's talking to the Italians, "You marinara sauce eating motherfucker," and then the Italian dudes are talking about the black dudes, "Why don't you go jump, slam the basketball, you son of a bitch," and then the Korean dude, he's talking about the Jews. I think that it should be truly no holds barred. It's not like you mean that or you really think that, but in this realm of battle rap, in this arena, if you can say whatever you want to say, why can't I say whatever I want to say? And I do not like that. I despise that. I believe equality comes in different forms. And this is one of them. If this black dude can say whatever he wants about the color of your skin, then why the hell can't you say whatever you want about the color of his? What do you think? What do you think about the thing I've labeled as the white rapper double standard?
Dude, I love it. Okay, so and I think that you bring up a very good point. Like it's called jester's privilege, right? Like you as if you're accepting the responsibility of quote unquote comedian, or in this case, quote unquote battle rapper, which has that essence of comedy, right? You have to be able to make fun of everybody equally, right? Like Jews nowadays super fucking off limits, right? Or are they? But here's the thing. So I totally agree with you. Now I am not against a certain standard being set in place for the general population. Because I think if we go, hey, you can say it, you can do whatever, well then you're gonna end up with like I'm the 1% in this regard. I'm gonna just say it like I'm kind of tooting my own horn, but like I'm the 1% who could tactically, accurately, hilariously make fun of a black dude. He laughs, I laugh, everybody laughs, right? Like you could do that, right?
Yeah.
My fear is that the fucking 99% is gonna think, and what happens when it doesn't land in the fucking room, bro? And so, like, I do totally agree. I think that you just have to be very mindful and skilled in how you approach that because there's a way, and I think that's a symbol, a moniker of greatness. Is like, oh my God, Aaron successfully made fun of a Jew or the Jews, and it made everybody laugh, including the Jewish dude. Fucking nailed it. Great job.
Nailed it.
You know, I'm just like, man, if we, because I do think that there's a double standard because the I wouldn't say it's just like an extra G check. Like, hey, you little white motherfucker, you better not fuck this up, bro, because I will beat your motherfucking face in, right? And I totally get that, and I have to move with that. You should see you should have seen whenever I pulled up in Iowa in a dashiki and a raccoon hat. That dashiki is just a regular piece of clothing that I wear. I'm not making fun of African shamans, dog. I'm fucking shout out to Baba Daryl from Tulsa, who is an African shaman, who said that I have a potential timeline of having 3 wives. Like I'm the dude getting readings from African shamans because there's somewhere in my lineage that me and him are spiritually connected, and I get the African ancestral shaman pass if there fucking is one. Like, dude, pulling up in a raccoon hat in the dashiki before I rap, right? After I rap, everything's cool. Oh, the crazy white motherfucker in the dashiki got bars, right? Well, what about the 2 hours before I went up where they're like, you mother, like you, fuck you, dude. And then they hear the bars and they're like, Hey, that
Yeah,
crazy white motherfucker in the raccoon hat and the
gotta respect it.
dashiki goes hard. But you know what I'm saying? We're like, I don't, because I'm
Mhm.
just afraid that there's gonna be the fucking Kevin and Kyle who just untactically makes fun of a black dude and low key probably deserves to get his ass beat after the battle versus Aaron Sawyer who's like, Elder said, it's not a fucking thing when you know, it's not your mental health when I do a welfare check or something like that, and people are like, oh yeah, you know, like fuck yeah,
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
not
mean?
what you
So
say, but how you say it, for sure,
yeah, hundred
for
percent,
sure.
and shout out to you for going against the grain to even fucking say that, you know,
Yeah, man,
like.
that's always bothered me. If one person can say something, that's true equality. Then why can't we all? The society at large will do with it the way they want. If they're turned off to Aaron Sawyer because they don't like what he says, then so be it. But you should still be free to say whatever you want, especially if we're both coming here to attack each other verbally. You know, that's what we're doing. So let me loose. You know.
And you're doing it so it doesn't end up my people versus your people. It doesn't end up in the streets, right? And that whole viral clip literally happened because he called me a cousin fucker in the group chat. And I was like, "Oh, you think I'm a Southern Trumper cousin fucker? Well, fuck your mother." And then the whole thing, my fucking brain just
Holy
started
hell!
working. I'm telling you, like a few days of writing that, I just kept finding shit that rhymes with
Oh
but it all started
no,
from being called a cousin fucker, bro.
bruh! I shit you not. If you have a microphone inside my brain, get it out. Because that's exactly what I was thinking yesterday. That's and not to simplify it or anything, but just that pattern, and it just worked, man. It just worked. And when you did the tummy tucker and you hit your fist, all that stuff means something at the right time to emphasize those lines, man. I couldn't tell you how many times I sat there the first time it came across my feed, and that's what I thought too. You were wearing the daishiki. I don't think you had the raccoon hat on anymore, but you're wearing the daishiki. We don't normally see somebody with your skin tone wearing a daishiki. So visually, I was like, okay, this dude's got to be good, and I wasn't disappointed.
You better
But you
have
know what I
bars if
mean?
you're wearing a dashiki, dog.
Exactly. Just like earlier, if you named yourself Flo, then you better be able to go. So
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I sat there and just listened to it over and over again because it was a masterpiece. And the
Thank you, man.
untrained mind might look at it, that's silly. Yeah, I guess there was a silly element to it. It was funny, but that shit was complex. That shit hit hard. And talking about the crowds earlier, that crowd should have done better. Period. That shit
Look,
was beautiful.
and you know that whole battle. So my this is ahead of time. First off, that battle wasn't supposed to happen. That card that it was on got canceled. It was supposed to be a room of
Mm.
50 people, and the clip that I thought was going to go viral was whenever I got everybody to call him Little Dick 4 times in a row. So I was gonna take a clip of 50 people calling J Lock Little Dick, post
Uh-huh.
it on the internet, and being like, "All right, there we go," you know. But that first off, that battle wasn't supposed to happen. It was me saying, nah, the rookie needs his fucking reps. We need to make this happen because J Lock, I see a lot of potential in him, and he's hungry. It was nobody was wanting to battle me. I don't know if it's because I'm crazy. I don't know if it's because they were scared or they just had other shit to do. But the rookie stepped up and was like, I want the play. And I'm like, let's fucking go. So once that card got canceled, we scheduled a one off. Just me versus him on a Thursday in Tulsa. Fucking 8 dudes, 10 dudes showed up, right? And that just goes to show that you never know what your quote unquote moment is going to be. But
Mhm.
I said that to say the 3 rounds that I wrote was taking him through I said, you new here, so I'm going to take you through like basically the 5 pillars of hip hop or the 5 pillars of battle rap. It was crowd control, personals, schemes and punches, angles, and then jokes. And so that clip was on the very last pillar of battle rap
Mhm.
at the end of the third round. That was the final scene of jokes, and that it did the numbers that it did, and now things will never be the same. But it was cool because people see that one clip and they're like, ah, it's corny white motherfucker. It's like out of respect for the culture and what it's done for me and the position it's been able to put me in, out of me continuously giving time and energy into it, it's like, okay, let me show him the 5 pillars of battle rap and exemplify it. You know, what does crowd control look like? Little dick, little dick, little dick, little dick. You
See
know, and
that?
so I thought that'd be a cool little like backstory to it.
That is, man. That's awesome. And I guess we'll play it. I mean, we've been talking about it. It's about what, 30-second clip?
Might as well, yeah,
Something like that. To let the people know exactly what we're talking about. And this is the clip that I saw that made me say I gotta reach out to this guy. I didn't know if he would respond or not, but I had to make the effort because this shit is wild, man. This shit is fucking wild. And I don't even, I mean, you know the guy, and like you said, shout out to him, respect to him. But to be honest, from my point of view, I don't even care what that dude has to say. This shit,
I definitely won the $100 that night. That's for
fucking
sure.
ridiculous. All right, so this is the clip that put Mr. Aaron Sawyer on my radar and brought us to this sit down right here.
This motherfucker better take another upper so he doesn't stutter. You call me a southern chopper cousin fucker? Fuck your mother. We use honey butter when we fuck each other. This dick gave her surgery. She got me the tummy tucker. I had her butt for supper. She the type to fuck another chucker, and I'm the type to chuck a motherfucker. Oh, I love her blubber. Fucking dump her. She gave me stupid brain. My last sperm cells look like Dumb and Dumber. I need another rubber. Back to back. I bumper. I love her blubber. I call her booty cheeks my thunder bunker. I'm her summer lover. I fucking love her just as much as I love to fuck her.
Call her blubber, my summer bunker. Guys, come on. That shit, man. That is so, and not only funny, but again, like you mentioned, the memorizing. You didn't slip up once. I'm sure I probably barely scratched the surface of the battles you have out there, but I haven't seen you slip up once. And you are human, but that just speaks to the level of preparedness. This man was 5 minutes early for this. That shows a respect and a level of preparedness. And when somebody's that prepared, it's a joy to watch. It's a joy to watch somebody execute something perfectly. I don't care if you were a professional floor sweeper. To sit there and watch somebody do something at the highest level, that shit's amazing. So that poor dude, he got bodied. You got to give me a link or something. Tell me where I can find the other rounds and the rest of that third round.
Yeah, I'll send you that link in the DMs, man. And I appreciate
I imagine that if that part's that good, the rest of it also has to be. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is a beautiful experience, man, and I really appreciate what you're saying about because that repetition. Did I drove myself fucking crazy trying to figure out how to rhyme, and then like everything started to sound the same when I'm memorizing it, and then before you know it, it's so funny because when you're doing funny shit, but you're memorizing it to the T, just like repping it out. I'm like, this isn't so fucking funny anymore. I need to fucking memorize this shit, you know? And then I'm like, Aaron, why are you driving yourself crazy over fuck your mother, honey butter, blah, 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 dog? Like, what? And then you just have this deep, esoteric conversation with yourself about, like, where am I in my psyche right now? But yeah, like, whenever you've repped enough stuff out and you're, like, in that pocket, you start to see new nuances within, you know. So I said to any creative or anybody perfecting a craft, you know, I know that it can get repetitious sometimes, but finding the beauty in that repetition and finding the nuance in that repetition, using sweeping as an example. Okay, how much can I dial in my focus to how much can I see God in this broom, in this dust? How much nuance can I see in this? And then before you know it, like that gets to me in the music aspect of just vocal control. Like I can go, you know, like Spider said on Halo, really tapping in with the angels, possibility being faithful. The city's feeling I'm a staple. They really think about staple. Like you're using because you're so deep in the pocket, you're using these extra insights and vibrations that are allowed to you, given to you as a byproduct of your deep focus. You
know? Wow. So which one of the 5 pillars of hip hop are your favorite?
I love the crowd control. That's something that, you know, I think it came from being ignored so much and like also having to fight for the crowd for so long, where it's like, you know, I love the crowd control and jokes, because crowd control is like, I just had to reach this, and I think yoga helped a lot too, because I started to see the power of the energy I was sending out into the world as a byproduct of my internal forces. And so I'm sitting here like, y'all motherfuckers will see me. I don't care. So, I'm at Gypsy Coffee Shop, my first open mic. I'm 19 years old, first open mic doing music. No one's paying attention. So okay, you have two choices. Either just kind of cower down and continue your performance, or step right to somebody and just start rapping to them, looking them dead in the face the whole time, right? You have one of two options. And it really ended up taking on a life of its own where at about 2021, I was really repping out a lot of shows, and I was like, okay, I read a book called The Surrender Experiment. He realizes, he asks himself, who is it that's thinking these thoughts? And he creates a little bit of distance between observer and observed. He starts becoming the observer of his thoughts and emotions, right? And so he starts to surrender. He says, it's not my mind that's ruling my life, it's my heart. My heart will never misguide me whenever I'm tapped into it. When I'm not numbing myself, it's here, right? And so once that music started playing, bro, I'm not here anymore. And just those days and days and hours in child's pose, God, use me as a vessel, bro, for truth. Like, let me just use me, bro. I don't want to steer the wrong way. Like, just fuck. And then before you know it, when I'm doing the show, it's like, I'm not here. I'm letting God, and you have to make sure that it is the highest vibration of love, because performing Set the World on Fucking Fire in California after a 10-day fucking hallucinogenic spirit quest, you will, and this is what happens to a lot of these mainstream artists, you will open up. It's like a block of cheese, your auric field starts to have holes. There's like dents in the armor. Through wear and tear and through not being in proper alignment. Then before you know it, negative forces can feed off of you and start attacking you. And that's why you see a lot of these people get pimped out within the music industry, because they were not, they weren't praying for mercy, bro. They were not checking in with the source, whatever that is, if it's the 0 point of consciousness or the 0 point of love. Like, they weren't tapping in, and then now, before you know it, something else is taking over you. And you're like, who the fuck am I? Why am I moving like this? Why am I with this women? Why am I now wearing assless chaps? Like, what the fuck
That's a
just
great
happened
question.
to me? They're like, and I think they allowing the highest consciousness that I possibly can to use me as a vessel for self-expression. It's like whenever people are right here and then I take it to fucking here, and it's like I'm on 10 and curled up in a ball screaming set the world on fucking fire or cap, it allows people to go up to here. They're like, oh, that man's crazy. That guy's but it gives them a little bit more space for self-expression. You know what I mean? So
it's almost like you have to go to that level to create room to bring them up.
yeah,
If you're both here, that's not a lot of room. But if you take it here, then you have more room, to bring them closer to the level you're operating on.
And these shows, I'm just now reimagining what does the Aaron Sawyer show look like? I had to ask myself that this winter and just during my incubation period, like, what do I want people walking away from an Aaron Sawyer show saying? There's a 1 hour, 2 hour Aaron Sawyer set. What do I want them walking away saying? And I want them walking away saying, I want to be a better man. I'm gonna go take care of my wife. I'm gonna go be on my shit tomorrow, and so I'm like, okay, how do I create that as an experience via a show? So now I'm gonna start, instead of just doing my 15-30 minutes and just getting my songs in and leaving, maybe I do a 60-90 second guided meditation. Maybe I do a clip from a movie before a song starts. I'm just playing with making it an experience that can really take people out of the mundane and open their minds up to something beautiful and creative.
That's great, man. And I want to ask you this, and then I want to start talking about the men's group that you started. So how long does it take? They bring you the name of who your next opponent is. How long does it usually take you from getting that name to being fully prepared when you walk in there for their destruction?
It'll vary. It's from anywhere to like the most recent battle I did against the marketing director of Dash Radio in Los Angeles. Shout out to Maiwan. The battle was in Oklahoma City. It was 10 days prep. So
Ooh.
from there, I know, okay, I have about, I have to have all of my material finished um, about, I would say 5 days at the least. 5 days at the very, very uh, least. I need 5 days, but 7 days. So a week before the battle, everything is fully prepped up. Now it's a little bit different with this next battle I have. It's a 3 round, 5 minute round battle. So
Hmm.
I'm prepping up a few weeks before I need to be really just dialed in. I have everything written. It only took me 2 weeks. He's been writing for me for 18 months. Just got to throw that in there.
Damn.
But a lot of times, like it'll be like I'll get no 6 weeks out. I'll get no 4 weeks out. And so the way that I write is I walk around throughout the day. Sometimes I'll catch a wave of a rhyme scheme and just start scheming. But for the most part, not to give away the secret sauce or nothing here, but like I'll walk around and I'll just find a funny punchline in my head, just one sentence, write it down. You know, like like this dude I'm battling, he probably won't make it to this point of the interview, but this dude I'm battling, it's like he's a part of a group called Swim Team Sharks, and I think I have the punchline. I'm like, okay, shark in your shark tank. I'll write it down, and then from there, over time, I'll reverse engineer it to where I start dragging across other metaphors and painting a picture. But I'll walk around, bro, so the battle is 4 weeks out, let's say. I'll walk around for at least 2.5 weeks just writing down fucking one liners, like or Glock bars. Like I went kind of viral for this Glockadoodle Doo bar.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. That was a good one, man.
And so like that is a great example. Like I was in Sedona, Arizona, off the same, coming back from the same spirit quest I was talking about from the show in Ontario, California, and I just Glockadoodle do. I just write it
Yeah,
down,
that's tight.
and then I'll work my way back to it. So it comes from just, and it really gives me space to just not have to have everything perfectly set up at first, but let me just get as much material down. So if it's a 3 round, 3 minute battle, I will write up to 30 minutes of
Damn.
material of just sentences, phrases. Some of it rhymes, some of it doesn't. And I'll just get as much of the material out, right? It's like that's the marble. And then as more time comes, especially the 2 weeks, once 2 weeks is there, I'm starting to chisel it. I'm chiseling. And then before you know it, like I'm just running it every day. And shout out to my wife who's super understanding about battle rap because I just get locked in on a dude and she's just like, "Oh, great! Now you're just gonna focus on fucking squints until this battle." It's like you got a wife, and I'm like, "Babe, I need to run these rounds, dog."
And she
It's like
understands. She
I love putting
understands,
my
man.
feet to the fire and facing that public. It's like a metaphor for facing public execution or public humiliation. I love that feeling of let me see what I'm made of under pressure. That's the only way to
Mhm.
grow. And so I think it's a great way to evolve yourself as a man. A lot of people don't look at battle rap like that. They might see it as a bag or just a way to get their emotions out. But I'm like, let me reflect to you what I see in you as a man that could use improvement.
Mhm.
This is a meeting of the psyches to me. So
Wow. I know I said I would move on to talking about the men's group, but something you said made me think of something. So real quick, the last person I sat down with before you was a man named Tony Hernandez. He's a pro boxer. And I asked him, what is your fight day routine like? And he said when he first started, it was just he would obsess over it to where he was almost exhausted mentally, just going over the fight patterns and what he's going to do. What kind of guy is this guy? Does he have a heavy hand? Is he more of this? What's his style? And he says now, on the day of the fight, he just takes a nap. He totally disconnects from boxing, hangs out with his family, sleeps a lot, just the opposite of what he's about to get into later that day. So I ask you, what's your battle day routine like? Do you have like something? Is there something you drink every day, or somewhere you go all the time the day of? If you're home, if you can, like what's your day of the battle routine like?
I'll get my yoga on. I love the sauna. Sauna's great, but you know what I really do is I write music. I'm writing songs. I'm in Iowa. I drove like 8 hours to get to that venue. I'm in Iowa. I know I battle in about 2 hours. I'm writing bars. I'm writing my next freestyle because I'm a projector in human design. If you don't know what human design is, I definitely recommend you look it up and kind of plug your birthday in, see what it says, and just do a little examination, see if it resonates or not. But I I get energy from being in groups of people. I get my energy from other people, and it is important for projectors to rest and use their mind and sort of have those incubation periods. But dude, I'm so amped up. I'm using that nervous energy. I'm alchemizing it to write amazing music. So battle day, I'm doing something creative. I'm writing bars for a song, or I'm writing a rock song, or I'm doing something, and it's mostly music. I'll hit the gym. I love a good yoga flow, just kind of zen out, but also keep the creative spirits like, oh man, that little, I love feeling alive,
Mhm.
that little extra adrenaline. I'm like, let's write a fucking blues rock song today that's completely unrelated to any of this. Like the boss is saying, like he knows it's going to be so physically strenuous. Let's just not focus on any of that. And so I love running the rounds in the sauna, and I think that's a great way to flush out any fear, toxicity, negativity, and just kind of start. Cold showers are a must, fucking ice baths, just testing my physical vessel. And that ends up a lot of times, bro, being the X factor.
Mhm.
Because I'm so tapped into spirit and my body's clean and I'm going on these detoxes and doing the ice baths and the sauna, I didn't gas out. That's why I wanted to make this battle against Legitimate March 23rd of 3 round 5 minutes, because I want to see what he's made of. He's had my number for 18 months. He's been wanting to battle me, but kind of duck, but kind of not, but sending J-Lock my way. Then I go viral. Then he gets pissed. It's like, let's
Mhm.
see. I'm fucking on the treadmill, dog. Like, I'm in the sauna. Let's see if you can last 3 rounds 5 minutes, because you got a multi-syllable sort of approach where he rhymes the entire sentences. And so I think that ends up being the X factor. They say the battle, usually the winner is the man that wants it the most, and the winner belongs to the warrior who's the most prepared. So if you're prepared and you want it bad, and you're doing the prep work, spiritually, to be in the highest vibration that you can possibly be, magic happens. I was on a 2 week fruit detox whenever that video went viral. I got engaged, got promoted, and went viral all in the same week, all in the middle of a fruit detox, because I was finally able to reach the frequency of the blessings that I wanted to attain, that I'd written down for so long. So a little bit of game.
Wow. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. And I do want to have you back to talk, because there's so many. You mentioned earlier, what do you want people to take from your show? I would imagine that one of the things that they're going to be feeling after your show is exhaustion. And I mean that in the best way possible. It's because you're so high energy, and that's the vibe I got, was just go, go, go. And there's so much talent, and there's so much that you want to put out there, and there's so much that you want to do, that leaving a show, you're just like, damn, that was a lot. That was rap. That was singing. That was rock. That was, like you said, movie clip or something. That was a lot to take in. And I think of, the coming days after attending your show, they're starting to digest all that, man. So I would love to see one of your shows someday. I want to keep in touch. So when you do come out to California, or if I happen to be in Oklahoma, to definitely meet up with you and experience that show. RIP, my dad, he's from Tulsa. But we never got to go there as a kid. But definitely whenever I hear about Tulsa, I always think of him. But
Shout out to the green that created the green, man. And I see you,
right.
genuinely speaking, I see you carrying on his legacy and taking his positive qualities and attributes. Like, I don't even need to know you to see that. I think that definitely allowing him to live through you, speak through you, breathe through you is something that can keep you going in times of trial and tribulations. He's proud.
Yeah,
I
thank you
know
for
it.
that, because that's high praise. And
Absolutely.
my dad was a good man, and I strive to be like him as much as I can. But let's talk about the men's group that you started. I think
Hmm.
that now men are under a different attack than they've ever been under
Hmm.
before. I think, and being a man, you don't need a lot of praise. You don't need to be checked on a lot. We're good. Get our basics down. We're good. But men are important.
Hmm.
Men are important
Hmm.
to society. Men are important to their families. Men are important to our infrastructure. So their well-being is important. And it's kind of
Yes.
weird because, like I mentioned, we're not used to that. We're not used to being checked on. We're not used to getting together.
Right.
And we're used to getting together with our buddies and stuff like that, but getting together for something deeper, we're not really used to that. So explain to us, um, how you started it, why you started it, but I think more importantly, what do you want it to do?
I started the intention was set about 2 years ago, and then I just so happened to meet my good friend Matt Michaels, who is a detox specialist here in Tulsa. I met him at a combo ceremony, where, if you don't know what combo is, it is a poisonous tree frog venom that they burn into your arm that makes you
Oh
purge a bunch of
shit.
bile from your liver. And so, of course, my wife, being the spiritual shamanista that I wrote down and manifested that she is, wanted to do a combo ceremony. And so I met this dude and his fiance, which I always trust a man with a wife a little bit more, just especially whenever you got a woman. Like, it's a good thing to know that you're in a committed relationship. It makes me trust you a little bit more, right?
Mhm.
But him and his fiance were there. Me and my fiance were there. And before I even said any words to these people, I saw them throw up in buckets, and we all threw up on tree frog venom together. So there was definitely a spiritual connection. I was like, man, I
Yeah.
didn't have to talk to you to know what you were about. You just showed me, and he'd been wanting to start these men's groups, and so me and him started the first one in December, I believe. We made it every other week, and it's cool because I couldn't do it alone. Because to start something like this, you have to be walking the path, and you have to be able to handle a certain level of responsibility that makes you a leader, right? You can't just be fucking off and starting men's groups, because the group is always going to be a reflection of your shadow as well. So if you're not taking care of your shit, it's going to show up in the group. If you're talking shit on people, the group's going to start talking shit on people. If you're lusting over women, the group's going to start permitting more lustuous behavior than what is commendable, right? And so our whole intention was to create a container. Like, the first meeting we had, it was like, okay, everyone went around and talked about, what are you expecting out of this group? And shout out to Matt, for he's a facilitator. I'm like an administrator of it, right?
Mhm.
Because he's like the guy, and he's 34, so he's like and he's been through it, bro. He was a junkie. He's fucking eating 10 Zans a day, drinking vodka. He
Damn.
healed himself. He healed his whole body through fasting and detoxing over the years, and so very well researched, very high credentials, and everybody went around and talked about what they wanted to get out of the men's group. And the first thing I said was like, I would like a environment where we can just say what the fuck is on our minds, and I know nobody here is gonna fuck me over and say some shit to other people talking about, oh, Aaron said this at the men's group. That's all I want. I want a container, Matt used that word, container, where we can all come together, say, man, I'm depressed as fuck this week. Man, I can't stop watching porn. Man, I smoked weed again. I said I wasn't gonna smoke weed again. Like, and it stays there, and these men can be like, yeah, bro, like, well, here's what I was doing here's how I got clean from porn, right? Like, like, dude struggling with porn, Matt's like, there's a website called Ever Accountable, where it has a VPN, and it screenshots anything that you look at and sends it to your accountability partner. He's like, that's the only way to get me to quit watching porn was, to download these apps, and it sends a screenshot to my wife if I look at anything. Well,
Oof.
fuck. Okay, well, from there, we ain't looking at nothing fucking incriminating, right? Because if your wife is seeing what you're looking at, it changes the whole game because it's accountability. So we set that precedent of we want accountability, we want honesty, and we want fucking I don't know what the word for basically no snitching. Like, we want safety within that realm because then you can pull up and hey, like my fucking dad used to beat me and now I'm like struggling with violent thoughts and I just want to kill a motherfucker. And we're like, well, it's funny because one of the dudes there was like, he's like, yeah, man, I used to be on drugs. I went to fucking prison. And, I always knew I was meant for a higher meaning. And now I got a family and I'm really settled in. And I've always been a deep thinker. And he's just very philosophical. And you could tell he's evolved as a man. And there's another man at the same men's group that's like, man, I'm just trying not to go back to fucking prison. And I'm like, okay, y'all need to hang out. Like and there's it creates that you can find yourself in these other men whenever they go around and start talking about their shit. I'm like, every single time, and it all depends on the leader of the men's group. Some of them, might be fugazi, but for the one that we got here in Tulsa, like every time I walk away from those meetings feeling inspired, like, yeah, let's go get it, bro. Like, I'm not alone in this shit. There's a bunch of dudes that are I met 9 dudes yesterday that are intentional about being a conscious, awakened man and want to be a great husband, a great leader, make money, be healthy, and fucking crush. I'm like, let's get it, and that sense of community, like you said, men are under attack because they're the foundation of society. We are the backbone. We're the ones that pick up the shovels and do the fucking shit work and bear the physical burden of this existence, and I think that if we could get men to tap into their greatness and their potential, I see so many men just want to fade away. So many men are selling out. They don't even want to fucking be here. And dog, I get it. Like, I totally get why you don't want to be here. It sucks, but this is why you need to find your team, find your community, and heavy, many hands makes light work, as they say. Right. So when it's hey, man, well, at least I know I got 8 other cats that are dealing with the philosophical pain of existence with me. And, he sets certain challenges for the 2 weeks that we see each other. So the first challenge was, okay, mind dump. Or first challenge was write 50 things that you want out of life. Okay. Come back 2 weeks later, this is the 50 things I want. One guy, oh, well, I got to 25 and then I got confused. One guy's like, well, I don't know what the fuck to write. One dude's like, I wrote 100, And then so he's building after that is like, okay, journal every day. Start with a mind dump. Just dump out your negativity, whatever it is. Then you can just kind of journal whatever you're thinking about. Then write at least 3 things you're grateful for. Then 3 present tense affirmations about things you want to manifest, right? The next week after that, okay, 15 minutes of meditation every morning. And I'm knowing these 20 other dudes are doing it. It's bringing a level of accountability to myself. He's like, now we're on the phase of, okay, you did the 15 minutes of meditation every morning. Now within that, incorporate visualization. Visualize your desired outcome, your big grand goals or something short term you're trying to bring into your life, and fully immerse yourself in that. Again, every day for 2 weeks, you're going to come back, report the results, and then God only knows what kind of impact we're going to have on ourselves and our communities just by doing work like that. Like, it's so powerful. So if you're a man there, like, either start one or fucking, surround yourself with people that give a fuck. That's all I gotta say.
True, man. So true. A lot of truth in that. And like you mentioned, having that trust that this is a place where I can come and be vulnerable and not have it get out, because being vulnerable is very hard for men because of what's expected of us. And you don't want to be crying and complaining to your wife all the time or whoever. So we shoulder a lot of that. But that trust is very important in creating a space where men can trust that and know that they have a space to come and talk about their shortcomings or what they want to do. I don't think you can place a value on that. And men, we need stuff like this because we can't bow out. Good men can't bow out of society. And I know, like you said, you get it. You get beat down, your trust gets violated by your by a woman or whatever, and you're just easier to say fuck it, you know. But we need to get back in the fight because the world needs us. This world does not run without men, and it's not just the garbage man and the guys drilling to the center of the earth, shaking hands with the devil and all that shit to get oil. It's everything. It's family. It's being dad. It's going to work. It's being here. You know, it's being. I've had a couple situations where I've been driving past something, and I remember I drove past an apartment complex, and there was smoke coming out of one of the upstairs rooms. And not saying a woman wouldn't have done that, but as a man, you feel an obligation to help, to do something about that. You know, a lady needed her car pushed, things like that. Things like that go undone if men bow out of society. It's a less safe place. So what you're doing, again, it's invaluable. I hope more men join. And like you said, if you don't have that in your area, start it or find somebody who has started it, because that's great work, man. That's amazing work, and
Appreciate
I'm
that,
glad.
bro. And hey, man, just to give a little context, it is quote unquote powerful men that have created this ploy to effeminize men within,
Mhm.
especially the American structure. They don't want strong American men,
Mhm.
black, white, Mexican, Italian, Jewish. They don't want strong men because they're, you know, just whenever you see that it's a spell created by a man to make man not a man, it becomes very clear you're fighting a spiritual battle here. It's not an external enemy, it's the principalities of darkness, right?
Mhm.
And so I think that within that context of understanding that, you know, a man created that those temptations and those traps to become less manly, it's time that you take ownership in your true potential, because there's something to be said about, like you said, the man that is willing to sacrifice himself for his community, willing to serve his community, you know. And with that becomes, you become, the responsibility gets greater, and it might not be an easy path, but it's worth it because you know that you are on the side of the light, what they would call the light. I'm not here trying to pimp dudes out. I'm not ever going to be the type of dude in the music business to be like, yeah, well, you can have this if you pull up to this party and fuck this chick that we're all fucking. You know,
Mhm.
like, I see a lot of men falling into vice and temptation, thinking that's what it means to be a man. They think that being a womanizer is being a man. It's we got to make it cool again to be a stand-up individual for your community, speak the truth, lead the youth in a positive direction. Like, that shit is more hardcore than fucking anything else I could think of, because
Mhm.
it actually brings something of value to your community. And so it's hard for me within this rap game to look at people who are esteemed and have accolades, clout, money, recognition, but they're steering people in the wrong direction. What's it all worth, man? If I got to do that to get there, keep me here, dog. I'll fucking, and that's another thing. I'm always ready to bow out, because they might use me as a example and put me up on the pedestal just to make an example out of me. I'm always ready to go into the woods and build a family with my wife.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not attached to any of this. I meditate every day. Like, it would suck, but like, I know that nothing is more valuable than my soul. And as a man, you do have value, you do have potential, and a lot of these daily systems that you create are going to create your life. So don't, you know, just get away from the vices, get away from the porn, the pills, the fucking aggressive thoughts, the aggressive music. Like, you can be a leader in your community, and you have inherent value. It's only and that inherent value only stays whenever you put your actions where your words are. And so I have a lot of faith. I have high hopes. Like, we're under attack for sure. Like, but I think they wouldn't want to attack us, so especially the black man. They do not want powerful black. They do not want powerful, strong, conscious black men that have guns and grow their own food
Mhm.
around, you
Mhm.
know. And they've made that very clear, because there's a certain strength that comes with that the person in power You know, they don't have that. They're naturally effeminate. That's why I don't look at them as elite. Y'all aren't elite. You're scared little sissy boys that are trying to feed off of people's fear and negativity. You're selling, you're planting guns in these cities and promoting artists that are literally creating murder suicide music so that you can win your little money game. And whenever enough men stand up and say, hey, that's not cool anymore, well then guess it's like the algorithm, bro. They're going to reflect to that. Once enough men stand up and say, no, we want some real shit. I want real hip hop back. I want people that have a message. Then there's like they're gonna start selling you that, you know. And so I have high hopes, bro. Like I really believe that we can turn this ship around, and I think men are getting kind of hip and privy to. Now there's always gonna be some dude that comes along that's a Judas goat, where they're like, hey, you know, like a good example. Not everybody has little gems that they can drop that have essence of truth in it. So I'm never just gonna say, hey, this person's bad, but like a Jordan Peterson. They'll lead you to a certain level, but there's but he got handlers behind him, and he's not going to lead you all the way out. So you know, you'll get these trad white dudes talking about, man, I just want to grow my food and live on the land and fucking just like be about my family and my life. And then they'll bring in some right wing influencer that's promoting OnlyFans chicks, and then you're a slave to your vice again. Or some right wing influencer that gets to go to a fucking Trump rally, or they'll bring in Trump, and even though he's been a fucking liberal dude from New York for a you know, as long as he's been alive, and they'll make you think he's a patriot. And it's like, man, you can't fall for these idols, bro. So that's another thing pulling up in the industry. I guess these are like my final words. Like, don't fall for the idols. Get the fucking vice out of your life, man. Like, you are valuable. You are loved. If you don't feel loved by anybody else, you're loved by God, Yahusha. Like, I believe in everybody's potential, and I think my life's mission and purpose is to pull that potential out of people and pull it and say, hey, look at what you're capable of, bro. Let's do this. You ain't alone. Let's get it, you know?
Perfect, man. And, you know, like you mentioned, the weakening of men, you know, if you look at a heist movie, what's the first thing they do? They get rid of the security system. You put a sleeping pill inside the meat and throw it over the fence for the dog to eat so he passes out. You cut the wires because you can't have a security system. You're never going to get inside to what you want if you do that. So breaking down the men, breaking down the family makes that a lot easier. And you mentioned strong black men. All of that's true. And another, what's the word I'm looking for? Caveat we can add to that is being torn down from the inside, being torn down by other black folks. I have another channel under my name, Jericho Green, but I get attacked from other black folks saying, you're a sellout, you're an Uncle Tom, because I don't subscribe to this bullshit. I don't believe in all that mainstream rap nonsense tearing down the family. I believe in, like that, having guns to protect myself. You know, that pesky thing, the Constitution. I believe in being able to say what I want. I believe in being able to protect my family. And you will find that when you and your wife get married and you start a family, it's going to make it even easier for you if that day comes to where, you know, they try to use you as an example and you're ready to pack up and head to the woods. It's going to make it that much easier for you to do, because now you have your unit, you have your wife, you have your kids, and that's all you need. The rest of the world, I don't give a damn, you know, to a certain extent. But having that core, having your inner circle makes it easier to step away from that stuff, because you'll be all right. You know, as long as you have those people, that family, you'll be fine. And, you know, again, being torn down from the inside is something else. That's another level, another angle to, you know, not wanting the strong black man in society. And strong men in general, they like us docile, weak, scared, you know, not in the role we're supposed to be in. So I love what you're doing, man. I love your message. And I hope that as many people as humanly possible can hear it. And I'll do my part.
That's real. I
To put
appreciate
this
that,
out.
bro. And just one last thing on top of what you said. It's not what is your price, it's do you have a price? And I don't have a fucking price. So You can hold me to that too, as you see my career go on. Like if you see me in the assless chaps, dog, you'll be the first one to tell me, like, man, man, like, you know. But I know where I'm at with it. So
if I see you with your face next to some girl's ass shaking and you're pouring champagne on them, be like, Aaron, you said you wouldn't do that.
Damn, I thought the honey butter was a metaphor, dog. You really out here with the honey butter.
You live in that honey butter, man.
I believed in you, bro.
I do want to hit you with some questions real quick. I like to wrap it up with a little rapid fire kind of thing. Being that you're from Tulsa, you said you grew up in the suburb of Broken Arrow, but hopefully you're close enough to Tulsa and have spent enough time in Tulsa to have these questions make sense.
Of course, yeah. No, I've spent a lot of time there.
So East Village Bohemian Pizza or Noche?
Oh, we got to go Bohemian Pizza, bro. Bohemian Pizza is insanely delicious, bro. If you're ever in Tulsa, you got to go to Bohemian Pizza. It's just a fucking vibe. The whole place there is just a vibe.
Good to know. Good to know. If you could go down, if you had to walk down one of these paths and forget the other one, is it going to be rap or is it going to be rock?
Rap, bro. Because that's what gave me the platform. That's where I started. My roots are deeply rooted in conscious hip hop. And I think if you're looking at timelines and outcomes, Aaron sacrificing rap to become the rock star, totally different story than Aaron who stayed with the higher minded hip hop. So I'm conscious hip hop to the death of me, bro.
Okay. And this isn't one of the questions. I got one more, but this just popped in my head. Have you ever heard of Pharoah Monch?
No, put me on.
Okay. He's my favorite.
Oh, Pharoah Monch. Yeah, dude. Pharoah Monch. Yeah, of course.
Simon Says. That's his biggest song, his biggest claim to fame. But that dude is a conscious rapper, but his skills, man, the shit he says is just crazy. You wish all fans of hip hop could hear that. So at least they know where the high watermark is. You can stay listening to this if you want, but I got to show you what's out there. I think Pharoah Monch is that MC that people should listen to. And he raps about, some serious stuff, shootings in the hood and things like that, not just the, bounce that ass, ho. Like, I don't think he has any songs like that. Not that I've heard, but his
you just inspired me to hit him up, bro, and just DM him some of my freestyles and shit, and just be like, I'd love to open up for Pharoah Monch. Like, I know as soon as I open up for a big artist, and I know it's happening this year, I don't know who it is, but manifesting it, like, I know that it's super close. I'd love to just kick game with a Pharoah Monch and just be like, yo, let's talk that shit.
Whoever it is that this artist that you open for, that helps with that, great. But if it could be Pharoah Monch, man, that dude. Good luck to you on that one. I hope that happens. So last one. 19 years old. You started battle rapping. That was your first battle. It was going to be Flow, but it ended up being Aaron Sawyer versus Original Flow.
First official rap battle, I'd say, was 3 years ago, actually. So 2022, 23.
So you have 30 seconds. The Aaron Sawyer, the 25-year-old Aaron Sawyer of today, has 30 seconds to bend the ear of the 19-year-old, 20-year-old Aaron Sawyer of then. What do you say to him?
Hey, look, bro. I know you're in the fucking spiritual chaos right now, but here's what you do, dog. You focus, you breathe. First off, reverse engineer your punchlines. Find the funny shit you're going to say first. Make it all rhyme. Grab some shit from some other dialectic aspects, all right? Connect the metaphors and punch their fucking face off. And here's what you do. Don't do those awkward goddamn pauses, all right? You just punch, and wait until they fucking laugh at something, and then you stop, all right? Don't fucking stop. Just keep your foot on the fucking gas the entire fucking time. Punch him in his chest.
Come here. Yeah. You know what, man? It's so cool that you said that. My son and my daughter are taking boxing classes right now. It's the classic. They come home, Dad, I got a bully that night. Boom, we're taking care of this. I got him enrolled. But I was telling my son that he was sparring for the first time. And what I really loved about it was he wasn't scared. He was excited. Dad, we get to spar today. I didn't have to talk him into it. I didn't have to convince him. They're older than me. They're bigger than me because he just turned 8 last week. One kid was 9.5 and the other kid was like 11. So, but there was no fear. He was just, Dad, like, I've been waiting to do this. I finally get to. And that was one of the things I told him. when you have him in the corner, don't stop, man. Don't, because I know it's the good guy in you. You want to let him out. You want to let him breathe, recompose themselves. Nah, man. Keep your foot on the gas. Don't stop until the coach comes in there and pulls you apart. And that's something that I want him to understand. And I think everybody should understand. Don't take your foot off the gas pedal. If you know you're doing something that feels right and it's what you want to do, it's what you need to do. Don't stop.
That's fucking genius. Like, whoop his fucking ass and shake his hand afterwards.
Yeah.
Don't, because they won't show you mercy. And I have to realize that as a battle rapper, as a public figure too. These motherfuckers want your head, dog. Are you gonna play that shit lightly, or are you going to destroy them and then make them say, "Damn, he got me," you know, after it's all said and done? So
yeah, lovely, man. And that's a perfect note to end it on. Aaron Sawyer, I thank you, man. I thank you for your words. I thank you for your time. And I thank you for what you're doing in rap and hip hop and music in general and in that men's group. I hope it grows to a level you didn't even think was possible. Because it's needed. Unfortunately, it's needed, but it's needed. And to have somebody out there taking up that mantle is amazing. So
I appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate you. You're easy person to chop it up with. Stay curious. Don't let anybody's, not that you ever would, but don't let anybody redirect you on nothing, bro. Just stay dialed in. Love God, family. Like, you're doing it right, bro. And you have I think you're gonna be very surprised the caliber of people that you continue to meet and chop it up with. You have a good eye for who's interesting and who's not, and who's real and who's not. And I think some very successful, very admirable, good men and women will be headed your way just because of the way that you conduct yourself. So I had a blast in this, but one of the best interviews I've ever had, bro.
Hey, I'll take it. You hear that, Mom? I did it. One of the best he's ever had. I thank you, Aaron Sawyer. Oh, please let the people know where they can get more of you.
Yes, on all platforms at Aaron Sawyer Official, Aaron Sawyer Official. And you can find my music if you type in Aaron Sawyer Halo or just Aaron Sawyer. Should pop up. I have like 88 songs out. It was like I've released 124, but some of them are just a little bit, you know, the mix wasn't as good or whatever, so I just delete them. But 120 songs in the last 4 years. So I'm a workhorse, dog, and there's definitely going to be a never-ending stream of content and music and battles for y'all to continue to indulge in. And when the time is right, bro, come see me in Fairmont.
I'm front row, man. I'm front row.
It,
thank you very much. You heard him. I'll put all those links in the description box. You guys can click, follow, purchase, listen, all of that good stuff. Again, Aaron Sawyer, I thank you, man. If you want to hang out for a second, once we get up out of here, I will get you on your way, sir. Thank you very much. This has been another episode of Green's House. You guys, bring your ass back here. We out.